For now, we shift our focus to what came out of the festive season, particularly on our roads. The Transport Minister, Fikile Mbalula, says his department, has witnessed the most heart-wrenching road crashes this past festive season. He has released the 2021 festive season road statistics a short while ago. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala was at that briefing at the Grasmere Toll Plaza and joins me now for an update. And Nqobile, it would seem that the human element, human factors continue to account for many of these road crashes that we have seen. What has the minister been saying about the causes of these road crashes?
The minister just speaking about the importance of people to be careful on the road. He says a lot more fatalities have been seen this festive season, as well as saying that he's seen more of the pedestrians also dying, as well as people that are on those cars, which would be passengers. So an increase in that. Also going as far as saying that a lot of provinces seeing a more increase, and that includes Gauteng, as well as saying that there are some provinces that have seen a decline, which is KZN and Eastern Cape, and also congratulating them there, but also laying a concern, saying that these provinces need, of course, to look more as they go forward into creating more visibilities on the roads. But I want to dissect this to us, and I want to bring in the MEC here of Transport, who would, of course, has seen this firsthand on the streets. MEC, we are hearing that Gauteng is amongst one of these provinces that have seen high fatalities. This must be very concerning for you.
Well, firstly, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you and to all the viewers. We welcome the statistics released by the Honourable Minister. And of course, for us as a province, we are deeply concerned and worried that just during this festive period, 275 people lost their lives. 275 people lost their lives in our province. This is a high number. Although Gauteng used to be the highest in terms of increases annually, we have seen that this time, although we are an increase, but we have experienced an increase, but it's not like in the previous years. But it is definitely worrying that 275 people, which is an increase from 238, that is worrying. It tells you that there is more work that needs to be done, and that bigger part of it is law enforcement. And I think at this point we should appeal firstly to road users to adhere to the rules of the road, because we are losing more lives. And secondly, to law enforcement to intensify their work to make sure that they enforce the laws of the road. Because we know that in many respects, human conduct, the conduct of the driver, controlling the movement of the vehicle is actually a critical factor. We can't deny that. Even when we say that, it doesn't mean other factors are not important, but there's always that decisive factor. So the fact that we have lost so many lives is definitely of great concern to us in the province, and we're only appealing for more, better road use culture and law enforcement to intensify the work.
And of course we've heard that appeal, and it continues for people to say be safe on the road. But what will you be doing now as a department to ensure more visibility, and of course to ensure that we don't see these crashes?
One of the things that you are going to be doing, in addition to working with law enforcement, is that in this year 2022 we want to focus on the road network, the infrastructure, because we have seen that our province, it's a point of high intersection and has got a huge population. So the road network, the quality of the road that we have, the road signage, just so improving, even the markings on the road, grass cutting, potholes, building more roads, maintaining roads. So the issue of infrastructure, we believe, whilst other things have been done and police and law enforcement have really tried, but we believe this time we must pull the infrastructure, and that's why this year you are going to see us more on the smart mobility weekends. That is even working again over the weekends to maintain the roads and deal with potholes. We are going to partner with municipalities to make sure that we put more emphasis on this, because we know that the infrastructure as well contribute a lot to movement of road users. So it's one issue that, in addition to the others, we are going to focus on the road network, make sure that we have got smart, beautiful roads on which motorists will move comfortably, and that will also, bring great relief and help the law enforcement to be able to manage the numbers, because this is really very high. We can't focus on law enforcement only. We are going to be hitting the roads and make sure that we intensify our work on maintaining good road network.
And MEC, the person who took the highest number or alcohol that was found in his breath comes from Gauteng. How are you going to curb the drunken driving?
That is an act and a factor of law enforcement. So let us appeal to the police to make sure that we leave no stone unturned on the conduct of people as it relates to two issues. Of course, high speed, but also drunken driving. That is also yet another issue that we need to look into. So, but remember, when all is said and done, road safety is a partnership. It requires all of us to do our part. So in addition to calling on law enforcement and engaging law enforcement to act harshly and decisively, and including the criminal justice system when these people go to courts, the issues of bail and all that. But at the end of it all, we need people to understand that drinking and driving, and also driving at a high speed, is just unacceptable, and people must bring a complete end to that and end it immediately. That's also what is required from the people, to play their part, because they are also putting lives of law-abiding citizens at risk. So we must really appeal to people to stop driving fast, but also to make sure that they don't do, and it will be worse. Some of them drive fast when they're under the influence of alcohol. So we need to appeal to the people, but law enforcement as well, to protect road users that are abiding by the laws of the country.
Lastly, MEC, we know that we have heard even from the minister speaking to us about the fact that this machine for printing licenses is coming back to the country, or has come back to the country. He says he'll give us an update next week to give us in terms of how that's going out. But in terms of backlog, are we winning in terms of the backlog? Because at this point we do know that people are on temporal licenses. Is that in any way affecting your industry, your department?
Okay, whilst Minister is attending to the issue of the printing machine, servicing it, but what is exciting and good for us in the province is that we introduced the Request a Slot campaign. And the Request a Slot campaign was addressing a huge outcry where people were saying, we are unable to get slots, make bookings, it's not easy. And I can tell you from where I'm sitting, the feedback we're getting from members of the public, even media houses, is that we are making good progress with respect to the multimedia platforms that we have created for people to request a slot. So to that extent, the numbers are quite excellent, they are good, and we have managed the outcry about I can't get a slot. The second part is we have increased our footprint. We have created more offices. Just yesterday I was in a meeting with Gautrain. They are putting the final touch-ups. Very soon they will announce more offices. So with respect to footprint, our infrastructure to service people, we are increasing. You'll see us as well in the city of Tshwane. We will be launching more additional DLTCs. So from a supply side, from a demand side, responding to the demand of the people to get a slot, to get the service, that is almost, at the best level that we wanted it to be, and there's still room for improvement. But on the other side of the supply, which is the cart itself and the production, that minister is dealing with that matter. But for us, request a slot has been best practice, and it's working very well. And we are now really excited that people are able to access the slot and go and renew the licenses. We have not been receiving complaints, and to that extent, we want to appeal to people: go and request your slot so that you can be able to apply for a license. When the machine is there, they print, they will include you, because that is just printing. So people must go and request a slot in as much as they can. And we also want to thank the people for responding to the request a slot campaign, and to that extent we are quite delighted. Let people go request a slot. The platforms are there, and we're looking forward to even more improved performance on the multimedia platforms we've created.
All right. Thank you, MEC.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you go, Silas. MEC saying that even though that machine might be at this point, they might not know what is going on, as he says that they will be looking into it at the ministerial level. But he's saying at this point that you can actually request your slots whilst you wait for your license to be printed. So, of course, we'll hear that update from the minister himself. He says next week he will give us a heads up in terms of what exactly is going on with that machine. But, of course, an overall concern in terms of fatalities, as well as drivers that do not respect the road in terms of how to use it and endangering people that are using the road in overall.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Thank you for that. That is eNCA's Nqobile Madlala there from the Grasmere Toll Plaza.